Hello and welcome. So I've got another new game here, Disco Elysium. I've heard, well, not heard a lot, but I've read quite a lot of good things about this game, and it's really good. Just for many different aspects, so I thought I'd give it a go. Currently on the PS Store for 26 quid markdown. So yeah, let's have a go. Select archetype. So you can choose out of 3, you can choose a thinker, sensitive, physical. Extremely intelligent, very bad with people, knows interesting facts, comes up with original ideas. Sensitive, very psychological, a magnetic personality but unstable. Physical, extremely physical, interacts with the world through his body, gets things done but dumb as a rock. I think we could create our own this time. What? Okay, so terrible motorics. So bad senses. I don't think. A good psyche, good average intellect, average physique, and a weak motorics. I'll be happy with that. Oh, set skill. Does it tell me anywhere where how many skill points I've got? If I've got any. Or is it because I've got 3 physique, I can... Alright, okay. Is it 1 skill per thing? So, wield raw intellectual power, deduce the world. Call upon your knowledge, produce fascinating trivia. Practice the art of persuasion, enjoy rigorous intellectual discourse. Play the actor. Line detect lies. Conceptualization. Understand creativity, see art in the world. Reconstruct crime scenes, make law, physics, work for the law. I think maybe logic. Oh no. Oh no! Okay. Oh right, I can only have 1. 1 is your signature. Right, okay. Psyche, hold yourself together, keep your morale up, hunches and gut feelings, dreams and waking life. Understand others, work your mirror neutrons. Intimidate the public, assert yourself. Connect to Station 41, understand cop culture. Charm men and women, play the puppet master. Take the blows, don't let the world kill you. Shrug off the pain, they'll have to hurt you more. Flex powerful muscles, enjoy healthy organs. Go to party planet, love and be loved by drugs. Raise the hair on your neck, tune into the city, let the body take control, threaten people. Ready, aim, fire. I still think I might go for logic, something intellectual. If it's got some aspects where you got to solve stuff.
There is nothing, only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever.
Never ever ever!
An inordinate amount of time passes. It is bizarrely void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage.
Allons-y.
Alright. Nothing town to fuck all borough. Do you want me to upgrade that to a one-way trip, sir? The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
You can take it. You're a champion.
Volition. What's this? Mother help me, there's a head attached to my neck and I'm in it. What? Stop! I don't want to hear anything anymore about this sensation. Take me back to the formless, disembodied nothing.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
Slow movement. Can I select those pants? Oh, alright. So the things I'm selecting with the X button, cross button, is with the right stick.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Visual. Oh shit, what's that? Visual calculus 3 high percent of winning. Okay. Assess the damage. Oh.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says Whirling-In-Rags on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
Oh, wait. My tie.
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie. with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. If it's your friend, why was it up there? Who ties their friend to a ceiling fan? Maybe this thing is dangerous somehow. An ominous, foreboding feeling fills you as you look at the tie. The switch must be broken because nothing happens. The air in the room is starting to feel like vaporized urine.
Did I have success with
The
the
window
window?
stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Oh.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base, then steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
It's indescribable.
You should check yourself for a pulse, because from here it looks like a cadaverous spasm.
Check.
You find no sign of life on your swollen neck. However, putting your hand on your chest reveals an irregular heartbeat. You appear to be alive, for now.
See what happens when you fail.
Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place, somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
Oh, so square takes you to this screen. Oh, zoom out, zoom in. Just trying to get... if you do that and then you hit the right triggers, or the left triggers, that's your inventory. Journal. Okay. My shoes. Ready to leave. Oh, okay, now. Found some speed now. So that's some cash. Pick it up.
Hello, officer.
1951.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No?
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Because you're a police officer, sir. Okay, cool. I won't.
She means it. She wouldn't defy authority, however sweaty and bloated it may look.
Okay. Sir, you've been here for 3 days. On official police business, as you put it. I couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
42% I chance that.
The words of already.
Piss off! I want to have fuck with you.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on, say it again.
I said I want to be on you.
No, you see, that's not what you said. You said, come on, man, pretty please. One more time. Goddamn right you did. You crazy asshole, you. What kind of cop are you?
A cop of the apocalypse.
Has the time come already? Mere minutes. I should go and prepare then. Thank you. This has been delightful. I hope it does all come crashing down. Otherwise, it's gonna suck for you later when you have to interrogate me. And for the record, no, I didn't do it.
Trompelemonde. Where do I go downstairs? Oh, knock on.
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside, a tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you. The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside.
See what this, oh, is that the, objective? Let me try this door. Oh, I can go out. My other shoe. Cool. See what are those
There
things?
they both
Oh.
are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Okay, so when that...
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
The what now?
The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It once smokes.
Am I a smoker?
Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. then smoke them all.
The idea seems to make your neck expand. Suddenly, the garish tie feels very snug.
Like a cat rubbing itself against its owner's calves. A cat that wants you to smoke a lot. Or you could not do that. No one is making you.
I'll think about it.
Good. Thinking about yummy cigarettes in your mouth is the next best thing. Make sure you think about juicy sticks of tobacco all the time, though. It doesn't count if it's not all the time. And when you're done thinking about them, graduate to getting them. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
Oh. So there's a thing in my journal now. What a dump.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul.
My soul is immense.
Utterly. And it needs to be heard. Through a PA system. By other people. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation. But it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? No one. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
Creating tasks.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you.
Look at the bird.
A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Can I help you?
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
Something tells me you don't like me.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
So I'm not only a cop, but I'm a hero.
Yes, you are. A real decorated hero.
What did I do?
What did you not do? First you took the body down, then you solved the murder, then you didn't trash my hostel room. Maybe you even negotiated the strike.
I'm guessing I didn't do any of those things. You're not pretty sure. So I'm guessing I didn't do any of those things.
You're right, you didn't, and it's only taken you 3 days not to.
What have I been doing all that time? Have you seen me around?
No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
Leave. Kitchen reserved for personnel until 1 o'clock. It's only 8:30. Mess hall reserved for new members. Opens at 4 p.m. So that's my buddy. Why won't you look at that other thing?
A man is sleeping at the table, wearing mud-caked boots and rolled-down overalls. The back of his shirt reads, Wild Pines, encircled by a logo with a tree. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Wake him up. I'll try.
There is only one way to wake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth.
Primordial scream.
Why the yelling man? Really? You woke me up for that? Fine. What is it, officer?
Officer, even after a rude awakening, this dock worker respects the police. More than they usually do, at least.
Tell me about Wild Pines.
That's the name of my employer. I work in logistics.
He doesn't sound too enthusiastic about this.
How's that going?
How's it going? Haven't you noticed what's going on outside?
I'm not sure what you mean.
We're in the middle of a strike down at the harbour, trying to force some sense into the executive board of Wild Pines. For one, I could use some more shut-eye in the mornings. Right to work, right to sleep, I say.
Why are you sleeping here while the others are out striking?
They got it. Majorette's got it. He's guarding the gate. I'm just getting some sleep. Or was.
Who's behind the organising the strike?
We are. The workers. The union. We know what we need. What's right for us.
Guess that makes sense somehow.
Okay. I guess there's also Everard. He's in charge of the union. He's smart. Knows how to negotiate. He's got our back.
Is that your spilt rum?
Indeed. Help yourself to some. Wait. No. Oh, it's empty. Sorry about that, pal.
No worries. See anything interesting in your dreams?
Thank God, no.
Was it a fathomless darkness into which we ought to be deferred, like corpses to a mausoleum?
The worker stares at you, his eyes dry from sleep. A web of wrinkles covers his tanned forehead.
I don't know what you're talking about, kind sir. But when I'm out, then I'm really out. No corpses. No mausoleums.
Mausoleums.
Just quality time.
A little me time in the abyssal pelagic zone. You can never return to it now. Only detective work remains. Wakefulness and detection. The dock worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table, in sweet sleep.
Why is that bottle even an option? I can't select it. It's annoying. I'll talk to the wheelchair lady first.
Hello, sweetie.
Cryptozoologist's wife.
You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, He narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
Shake his hand.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
58% probability.
Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
It is not yet time.
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
You mean him?
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
I have, yes.
Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
No.
So, the body is still in the tree.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Obvious.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
How can you be so sure I'm from the police?
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General.
Okay then.
He nods.
But I can't remember anything.
I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern.
Let's get going then.
After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
Wait, shouldn't I have a badge or something?
You mean you don't have a badge?
It wasn't on me when I woke up.
Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I advise you to try to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
Whenever. See if I've got anything extra
Yes.
interesting to say now. Tell me about the case.
What do you want to know?
Literally anything.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
I know literally nothing about it.
Do you want me to brief you?
Yes.
3 days ago, the RCM emergency desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling-In-Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate.
Are we in France? He sounds a bit French, him. And the areas... Martinez.
During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Oh. Labour dispute for dock workers and logistics company Wild Pines. Just talk to the logistics, but that guy.
A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. To find him or her is one of our tasks here. For now, all we know is that the tone was muffled, using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
So it's a bit of like a grass.
That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
So security is like a grass and someone's killed him.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why not?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Personally, I think labour disputes are very mysterious.
Then you're in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers' union. Maybe more than that. The union clearly wants a piece, not just of the industrial harbor, but the Wild Pines Corporation itself.
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a workers' coup?
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the union rarely overplays its hand, as it appears to have done in this case.
So wait, is this a strike or an attempted coup?
Strike, coup, revolution, it's brigandage, however you parse it.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
With this level 4 knowledge, I am unsure which side to grind into pig's feed. The decision must ferment in me. Also, nationalism.
When I said we have to navigate community matters, I did not mean we have any say in them. I meant we should be careful. If we are not, the shit will blow right in our faces.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
Why are we in the same case if we're from different precincts?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on. Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Cop-off?
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
You should tell me now, it seems relevant.
Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
Actually, I have all I need for now.
Good.
Talk to her now.
Hello again, sweetie. I see you've met up with your colleague.
The lieutenant nods politely. Wait, who's Sweetie?
Who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer.
I'm no Sweetie, look at me.
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
I don't want to talk about the dimple anymore.
I'm sorry if I was being overly familiar. I know we've only just met. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the Motley Crew. Hire her on the spot.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or anything.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
Uh, I drank so hard I forgot literally everything.
Oh my. You know where we are, right?
The Whirling-In-Rags cafeteria?
That's right. And where is the Whirling-In-Rags cafeteria itself located?
The edge of civilization.
We're in the city of Revachol, dear.
What kind of place is this?
How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
It's the spring of 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Nice.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Cop. We're living under the cop regime.
Actually, we are not. You could say that about almost any other nation, but not Revachol. Try it one more time, officer. What mode of government?
Damn it. I was really hoping it would be a cop world. Okay, well, let's see.
I can't be... Well, no. Intelligent machines, no.
Nope.
Oh,
Sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is market-driven.
I don't even know what to say. I'm so disappointed.
It is quite disappointing, yes. A lot of people would like some form of representation. There's talk, but for now, the RCM is all we've got.
How come the cops?
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution.
Oh.
But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
So how did I do?
You were doing quite well up until the end there. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
What's this revolution you mentioned?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
42. 51 take 42. Oh, 50 take 40, like 10. What's that, the 1909?
Of course, sweetie. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
Who could tell me more?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
You seem to be in a chair.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
A grenade? Did you fight in the war?
No, dear. I'm not quite that old. Although I was injured in the line of duty.
Were you a tightrope walker?
Nothing so extravagant, dear. Though what young girl doesn't dream of soaring over a crowd?
What did you do then?
I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays.
Thanks for clearing that up for me. Let's move on.
No problem.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
How would you like to roll with me?
Whatever do you mean?
I want you to be my wheelchaired partner in fighting crime, ridding backyards of corpses, catching sequence killers.
Sequence killers? Oh my.
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
Kim, of course. I forgot I had you.
Yes, and it seems to me that you do well to stick close to him. He has the look of an upstanding officer of the law, someone you can lean on, and, sweetie, you are looking unsteady. And even if he weren't there, I don't think you'd have much use for me.
Why, 3 heads are better than 2.
Thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair-accessible place, you see. I'd slow you down, perhaps another time.
Gotta get going.
Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Guard, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
What is golden orange like a forest fire, but smells like liquor?
Are you kidding me?
He was about to say something, let him.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes?
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions.
Right then, questions.
His face expresses profound doubt in your having this.
Where exactly is the body?
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there.
And how do we get there then?
That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
Witty.
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
Who killed him?
I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job.
Did you kill him?
What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
Why did Sylvie go away?
She went away because none of your business.
Fine.
Extra fine.
Are you the bartender?
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This is clearly a touchy subject for him.
You look like a bartender.
That period of my life is over. Not everyone who stands behind a counter is a bartender, okay? I'm the cafeteria manager.
What's the difference?
I have 3 cafeterias I manage. 3. Get over it.
Okay, that's all.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
Yeah, piss it off.
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk. No one. It must be merely imagination. But
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
Fail!
one moment you're running like the wind. Then you've suddenly turned around and are giving him the finger, furiously, with both hands. Why?
Fuck you, asshole.
Watch out!
Right, so stuff can happen if you get it wrong.
Everything goes dark.
Back so soon?
So worth it.
Admit it. You just missed the quarter light. The darkness on the edge of town. I was wrong to let you go. I should have kept you here. Is it bright where you are? Is it terrifying? Have you felt the love?
I sure as hell haven't felt no love.
That is too bad. We all need a little love. Are you okay?
Smashed into the pinball machine.
No. You've sustained a trauma to your lower neck. In addition, you have strained your left trapezius muscle. Pain surges down your back when you move.
No. You okay?
The chair took the brunt of it. Don't worry.
Are you sure, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Check on him.
Sir, I didn't mean for this to happen. I'm sorry. This has always been a cop-friendly place. The drinks are on the house, okay? There were a lot of drinks on the tab. I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window, though. That's 100 square.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Don't thank me yet. You still owe me 100 real. If you don't have it by tonight, I just can't let you up there. And for God's sake, watch out for yourself.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
I have no idea.
But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
Upon Marvel Hill.
Why did you say that?
The name must have meaning for me. Oh.
No. But isn't that an expression, not a place? A saying. Up on Marvel Hill, a great high place. One that is impossible to climb back to.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
I'll live in a dumpster, I don't care. Fuck everything, hobo cop.
Entertain the thought when you get the time. Maybe being a hobo and a cop has its advantages.
Okay, so let's just go down here. I'm getting experience. I need 40 more. Got quite a few tasks. Was there a secret one, it said? Oh, map. Entertain the thought of a hobo cop. Cop a hobo cop. Upsides can be dishevelled, doesn't have to wash, carries himself with a lurch gusto. Actually reduces my composure. I mean, that's bad? I don't know. What's the never pay rent again. Never again here, you're drunk. I'll hold it.